Lutz, and I don't know if we'll have Tank here. I tried to get a hold of him. He was on earlier and jumped off because I was on another call. And then, so anyway, we're here. We'll see if Tank ends up joining us, and we'll see where we go from there. But welcome. We're here on the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. So, I was actually also doing some research, and I think what is pretty interesting. Since we're talking about the post office, making all of the bank branches into banks, right? I mean, into post, like all the banks into branches of the post office. What does that mean? What does that look like? What's the history of that? So, in basically looking back, let me share just some things I was looking into here. So this is just Wikipedia. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Even that's a little bit small. Let me try and make this bigger, easier to read. So if you look into the Universal Postal Union, right, and then you have the Treaty of Berne, right, and you can see, start looking into what the roots are. So if you go look at the Treaty of Berne, it'll take you to where it talks about which are the countries that are all part of this, and so they all came together. All the countries that came together, I guess, to form a union, maybe a more perfect union. I don't know. So look, you get United States, France, United Kingdom, Greece, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Romania, Russian Empire, United Kingdoms of Sweden, Norway, Switzerland, and the Ottoman Empire. So just it's kind of looking back at where does this come from? Why are we able to go ahead and use these as banks, and the information that I've been coming up with from digging in, like with my friends out there in England, and asking them about their postal service in relation to banks, and that they're all have been able to do regular banking forever. Right? No, I never did it myself. I never looked at it as one way of finding out how am I going to make a payment to someone. Well, obviously I used to mail checks. Right? Remember the day when we used to mail checks, but now it's all electronic. Right? So then you go more into like what's the more modern day, and you get into I was just showing this, like the International Telecommunications Union, but really just it's more of an like after say like after the World War II period, and getting into more up to date things, but it goes back to 1,000 years. You can start going back 1,000 years and find out where all of this comes together, right? And the oldest mail and what they used to do. Just think about letters of marque, let's say even the Knights Templar, right? What he used to do in the beginning of banking, right? It was always about giving you a piece of paper so you wouldn't have to carry all the gold with you, right? And here it's kind of like the mail, right? Give this to deliver to someone else. So it's always kind of been there. And to find out from my friends in England that the banking system, or the most advanced banking system technology-wise, is also in the post offices So that's also interesting. So, um, you know, how easy is this going to be? How are we going to be able to use this postal service, sorry, post office, not the postal service? I don't know the relationship now. Start getting into that piece. Obviously, it's all owned by Kim, anyway. It's all under the trust. When I say owned, meaning it's all belongs to the trust. So, uh, Kim gets to decide how how the interplay happens. So, if you have a system that used to move money around all the time, and is still capable of doing that, and you make every bank branch a post office, then if you're going to move, it's all one postal system. So if you're moving money all within one postal system, it's like you don't have to ask permission from anyone to move it from like one bank branch to another bank branch, right? It's all, they have their own procedures, policies within the bank structure, but you don't have to get other permission to move that around. You can say it's the back ledger. You can say it's a bank-to-bank ledger. There's ways, as long as it's going within their own networks. What does it matter, right? Why would you need to have it checked on? So I don't think that there is really a necessity for doing that. All right, I think we're able to look that this is something that has been in existence for a long time. It used to be a major part of moving money around, right? It used to be able to. I mean, even today, everyone still goes and gets postal money orders. I mean, it's on a rare occasion that it happens, but it exists. It's just, no, I would just say what it's going to look like is that more people are, instead of going to their bank, could go to the post office. But since the banks are also branches, couldn't they just go to their existing bank and get an account? It would make sense to me that they were able to do that. So that is that. So anyway, that's the research. I just started digging in a little bit to see what is actually there. Where can we go with this? What can we do? What are the possibilities? So that's just a little bit of research. What else is going on? Well, it's the Great Awakening, right? People are waking up to the con job, right? End the con job 19. So this is spreading. We're seeing that a lot of people are standing up. They're waking up. I saw Dan Bongino. He brought up the one guy that opened up his tattoo parlor, and they arrested him right away. Dan Bongino is going to go to his tattoo parlor to get a tattoo. He said he didn't really want to get another tattoo, but in this case, he wants to give this guy business, right? He's going to show support for him, standing up and just opening. Went to jail. Under what reason? Right? Do they have the ability to do that? No, they don't have the right. Bill Barr was saying this is seeming very eerie, seeming like house arrest. Under what basis? Let's see if I can pull that up. One second. Yeah, I was looking this up earlier. Here's something else. Now everyone's sending me stuff on the post office. So it is opening up a lot of possibilities when you start thinking about what you're able to do through the post office besides send mail. What does it mean internationally, right? I was a little distracted, but it reminded me. So when we formed an indigenous group, right, we looked at, setting up treaties with other groups, say Native American groups, also to do a treaty. And one of the first things is to respect each other's mail, right? To deliver the mail. Yeah, so it's kind of part of the things you have to do to interact with others, right? Is you recognize that you have to move the mail for people. So that's interesting. Oh, see, I lost what I was looking for. Someone had sent it to me. I don't know where it's at. So anyway, we'll get back to that at another point. But I'll just go off what I remember. Is that Bill Barr basically was saying that this looks like house arrest now, and they don't have any right to do this. So this is where people are really starting to get it, right? No, we're not going to just stay home. No, we're not going to listen to you. You have no authority over us. We were doing this, in unison because you, as our elected representatives, said that there's danger. Stay in. Now we're finding out the danger is from you. You're the ones that are basically creating the dangerous situation. Now, if this gets revealed, right, that all of this stuff that we've been involved with was perpetrated on us as some sort of scam to put them into power, that this was a power grab to remove our rights, to keep people frightened, and us frightened people, they could control us, heads will roll. All of these mini dictators out there that are, going out and say, we're going to cite you, we're going to put you in jail, are going to be the ones that are going to be in jail. We have the right to assemble and to throw off that governance that basically is making laws against the Constitution. There are no laws, and they're trying to enforce this. And then we have and Dan Bongino was bringing this up, was because he was a police officer. I said, listen, you guys took an oath to protect the Constitution, right? And all of the enemies, foreign and domestic. So there's a lot of domestic enemies right now. We've been infiltrated. By who? The cabal, the Illuminadonkeys, all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons, the communists, the factions, China, or I should really say the Chinese Communist Party, the mafia, the Khazarian mafia. It's all one and the same. It's the deep state. It's the cabal, the Illuminadonkeys, whatever label, they have been conspiring and working from the shadows, and this is their coming out party. Right? They've been in the shadows for so long. They said, on that day, the day of the great calling, we will be out and we will now be ruling in the open, not just from the shadows. They've been in the shadows so long, they're just dreaming for this day when they can come out. The only problem is when they come out into the sun, right, they dissolve. Because we can see them for who they are. We can see them as the dictators. This is why they are failing. This is why Qanon was developed. It was a way of developing communications, delivering information to the people, what to look at, what was the thing that we should see. Right now we have a lot of where we go one, we go all, from the Philippines. So this is there's a movement to put that out there, so that, and Qanon is pushing that out there, and it's worldwide. It's not just about America. It's worldwide. Everyone on the planet needs to be free. everyone, whether it's China or any other communist place where everything is about the state, giving up everything to something that's not alive. A state is not alive. A government is not alive. It's a machine. And what does the machine want? Yeah, the machine wants to basically make you into machines. Something that's not alive having wants, but and basically to present an idea that there is a pull towards making everything into machine. So you can't, if you look at all of these, this organization where where you are not, it's not about in cooperation with one another do we come together for the same goal. It's no, you're going to do this. So when they asked us to shelter in place for 2 weeks, okay, we agree. But now we're saying we don't agree. Now we're saying you are doing something else. You're doing something that's about changing our fundamental principles, and you want us to have a new normal. The new normal we will have, but it's without you. Without your tyranny, without your saying what you know better than all of us, and fixing the election so that you get put into place, hiding all of these apparatuses, putting us under social media control, knowing where we're at, knowing how far apart we are. Satellites can distinguish us as long as we're, 6 feet apart. Know who's who. Can identify. Take them out by satellite. What a ridiculous system. Everyone's going to maintain 6 feet difference? No. So, anyway, we're seeing the Great Awakening. That is the great benefit of what we've been doing here, is taking steps to wake everyone up, knowing what's going on, end the con job 19. Right. Oh, here, take a look at it. Lost my research. If this works. So it says, cancel the apocalypse. End con job 19. So, this is just about waking up people so that they know that this is what's been going on. And we see that now Trump has come out and said, okay, it's time to open, right? And he's supportive of the people. He came to the Lincoln Memorial and basically brought all this information out about how this is the time. Yeah, we got to look at China. Maybe it was just an accident. He hopes it was just an accident. They just were embarrassed, and they thought they could handle it. What if there is evidence that it was on purpose? Do we go to war over that? Isn't that what the cabal wants, the deep state wants, is us to go into war? Not to say that, China shouldn't pay, but just think about the deep state actors that are inside the CCP, Chinese Communist Party. How, within our own government, how overflowing is it with these vipers? That's in every government around the world. They're there. So finding who they are is one piece of this puzzle. So we're on this mission to make this happen. We're waking up the people, and we now see that this is what is going to is unfolding in our direction. Right? They want to throw everything up against us because they are losing. They know that this next election is going to be a landslide. who's going to vote for the Democrats at this point? We need to put new people in there. I don't know who's on the indictable list. It's a very big list. How many of them are low-level politicians, mayors of small towns? You know, I know some crazy mayors, you know, that did some really awful things. I said, how are you doing this? I think you're breaking the against the rights of the people. People put things into law, and then the local governments don't go by the law. All the way up. So these people are entrenched, and we have to replace them. Whatever the legality of how that happens, but there's going to have to be us that step up. We're the ones that are going to have to take a position, and for our local community. Start on your block. Do block parties. Do a potluck. There may be some people on your block that haven't had a good meal. Do you ever think about that? They may not have any money to buy food, but you know, if they come out to a potluck, everyone's bringing something. They'll get to eat. We come together. We share. So that may be something that I think would be good. Hashtag potluck, or hashtag potluck block party. You know, get everyone to come out. You know, let's just do it. You know, just pass out some flyers. It's just if two people show up together on the same block, that's great. The next time you say, hey, I know Fred wasn't able to make it, but he'd come the next day. Oh yeah. Yeah, our Mary over there, she just wasn't able to, you know, get off the phone, whatever. Right? But anyway, we get the start, right? And we do it again, and we do it again, and we come out, and we don't wear masks, and we don't stay 6 feet apart. Forget the social distancing part. Yeah. This is not something that is something that anybody has shown by the documented reports. Even the CDC is backing off of all of these things. Even the World Health Organization is starting to back off of all of these things. We see how deep this is going. You know, I was watching Dale Bigtree when he was going over this new drug that's supposed to fight it that Fauci was basically pushing. Fauci is the only one currently doing a study. He analyzed the study of what he's doing, and their placebo. He's put poison into the placebo. I mean, how awful is that? How awful is that? It's like, you know, I forgot what one of them was, a sulfuric acid in the placebo. That's one of them. And if there's not there, there's another ingredient they would put in. So like two types of poison that they put in, either or, in the placebo, and then they boosted the number of participants because there was even a report leaked out from the WHO, World Health Organization, saying this Ravazanic stuff, whatever that other $1,000 a pill stuff is. I'm sure Fauci has a financial gain, and it's actually approval and being used, and it's immeasurable, insignificant results, right? Whatever there was, it was insignificant. That's what leaked out, and that's what's coming from Fauci's own. He was boosting it to say 31% effective, but everyone's saying hydrochloroquine is 98% effective on the ill, on the people that are ill. There is the one study where the people were at death's door and they're almost dead. Give it to them now. It's too late. Those people, it didn't help. They were already almost dead when they got it. It was like his last 2 breaths Okay, give him the hydrochloroquine. Ah, he died. Must have been from the hydrochloroquine, right? They are not being truthful. All right, let's get off of the soapbox for a little bit. so we're uh, I'm going to be doing an interview in about 2 hours from now, and this interview is we're going to be about the ITNJ and Rotten David STEELE and the other people involved in this as well that have been, you know, they hijacked the group that was actually doing the same work, actually taking action, because this is their way to make controlled opposition. And so we're going to go over that. And that is going to be available on BitChute. So yeah, the channel on BitChute is wwg1wga.love. I put the link down below in the description. And that's where we'll post that when it's done. And I'll put a little blurb together for this channel to say, go look over there and sign up. And we'll start trying to do most of our stuff over there and leave little commercials over here on YouTube, because we know that this is going to get a lot worse, that this may just disappear at any moment, and we don't know when it's going to happen, because they just don't like